power of the way you speak. Many people believe that confidence comes from money, position, or power, but the truth is much simpler. Real confidence often begins with something small, the way you speak. The way you speak tells people who you are before they know anything about you. Your words, your tone, and even your body language send a message. Some people speak in a way that makes others listen immediately. Other people speak, but nobody truly pays attention. This story is about 5 communication habits that separate respected leaders from people who are constantly ignored.
1. Speak like a leader. One of the biggest mistakes people make is speaking in a way that tries to make everyone like them. They say things like, "I think maybe this could work. I feel like this might be a good idea. I'm not sure, but maybe we could try this." These words sound polite, but they also sound uncertain. When people hear uncertainty, they lose confidence in the speaker. Real leaders speak differently. Instead of saying, "I think we should try this," they say, "The best solution is this." Instead of saying, "I feel like this might work," they say, "This strategy will work because of these reasons." Do you see the difference? The message is almost the same, but the confidence is completely different. Leaders do not speak to be liked, they speak to move things forward. This does not mean leaders are rude or arrogant, it simply means they believe their voice matters, they believe their ideas deserve to be heard. And the moment you begin speaking like that, people will begin treating you differently. 2. Control your emotions. Another thing that separates strong communicators from weak ones is emotional control. Everyone feels emotions, that is normal, but strong leaders do not allow emotions to control their communication. When people become very emotional, they often say things they later regret. They may raise their voice, complain, or exaggerate problems. When this happens, other people stop trusting their judgment. Imagine 2 people in the same stressful situation. The first person becomes angry, talks loudly, and blames everyone else. The second person stays calm, listens carefully, and focuses on solving the problem. Which person would you trust more? Of course, the calm one. Great leaders understand that emotional reactions often make situations worse. Instead of reacting immediately, they pause and think. One helpful way to imagine this is to picture yourself as a blade of grass. When strong wind hits a blade of grass, it bends with the wind. But after the wind passes, it stands up again. A rigid stick, however, snaps under pressure. If you stay flexible and calm during difficult conversations, people will respect you more. 3. Speak with authority. Authority does not come from speaking loudly or speaking a lot. In fact, the most powerful communicators often speak less. But when they speak, their words carry weight. They speak clearly, they speak directly, and they speak with purpose. Many people enter conversations without knowing why they are there. They attend meetings, listen quietly, and leave without contributing anything. Leaders behave differently. Before entering a conversation or meeting, they ask themselves one simple question. Why am I here? If they know their purpose, they speak with confidence. If they have nothing valuable to add, they do not waste time pretending to participate. Their time is important, and they treat it that way. When you begin thinking like this, your words become stronger because they are intentional. 4. Ask powerful questions. Many people believe leaders always have all the answers. But the truth is quite different. The best leaders are not the ones who know everything. They are the ones who ask the best questions. Questions are powerful because they reveal information. Instead of saying, "What do you think about this?" a strong leader might ask, "What evidence supports this idea?" Instead of asking, "Is everything okay?" they ask, "What is the biggest challenge you are facing right now?" Powerful questions make people think deeper. They also help uncover the real problem behind a situation. Imagine a tangled necklace. If you pull randomly, the knots only become tighter. But if you carefully examine the knots and untangle them step by step, the necklace slowly becomes smooth again. Solving problems works the same way. Every good question removes one knot from the problem. This is why great leaders spend more time asking questions than giving instructions. 5. Stop explaining too much. Many people believe that explaining more makes them sound smarter. But in reality, over-explaining often makes people appear insecure. When someone talks for a long time trying to justify their point, listeners begin to feel uncomfortable. It is like watching an airplane that is supposed to land but keeps circling the runway again and again. Eventually, everyone just wants the plane to land. Confident communicators understand this. They say what needs to be said clearly and respectfully. Then they stop. They do not repeat the same point 5 different ways, they trust their message. Direct communication is not rude. In fact, it shows respect for other people's time. When you speak clearly and directly, people are more likely to take you seriously. Body language matters too. Communication is not only about words. Your body language also speaks. Confident people usually sit up straight, keep their shoulders back, and maintain eye contact. They do not constantly fidget with their hands, look at the floor, or avoid eye contact. Even your voice matters. Some people lower their voice when they feel unsure of themselves. When you speak too quietly, people assume you lack confidence. Projecting your voice clearly helps your ideas sound stronger. This does not mean shouting. It simply means speaking with clarity and strength. Confidence is a skill. The good news is that communication skills can be learned. Nobody is born a perfect communicator. Many successful leaders once struggled with the same problems. They felt nervous when speaking. They doubted their ideas. They worried about being judged. But they improved over time by practicing. They paid attention to how confident people spoke. They observed body language, tone, and word choice. Then they practiced those behaviors until they became natural. Confidence is not magic. It is practice. The real reward. When you improve the way you communicate, something surprising happens. People begin listening more closely. Your ideas receive more attention. Your opinions carry more influence. And slowly, people start seeing you as someone who leads. Not because you demanded authority, but because your communication earned it. Leadership often begins with something simple. One clear sentence. One thoughtful question. One confident voice. Final thought. If you remember only one thing from this story, remember this. Your words shape how the world sees you. Speak with clarity. Speak with confidence. Control your emotions. Ask better questions. And say what you mean without fear. Master these habits and you will communicate better than most people around you. And when people listen to you, opportunities begin to appear. Because in the end, the most powerful leaders are not always the loudest. They are the ones whose words truly matter.